Joining us now is the former airline pilot, well known for being at the controls for the miracle landing on the Hudson River, Sully Sullenberger, who is also the former ambassador of the U.S. to the International Civil Aviation Organization. Ambassador, thank you for joining us this morning. I always enjoy seeing you, but I wish this time it was under different circumstances. I know that you have been following, you've been hearing the reports. Can you just give us your perspective on what you believe happened?
We don't know yet. The investigation may take a year, but the NTSB investigators will find the probable cause and the contributing factors. We will learn from it, and we will do what we always do after an accident, learn from it and improve our system, change for the better. What seems apparent from the air traffic control communications is that the airplanes were able to see each other, at least one was able to see the other, and the air traffic controller was able to relieve himself of the requirement to have him separate the airplanes, and the pilots would have to separate from each other visually by identifying the other aircraft and staying a safe distance away. And obviously at some point, separation was tragically lost.
It was, and given your decades of flying experience, you know, folks are just scratching their head and they're saying, Sully, how could something like this happen? How could it happen?
Well, we have to realize how many things have to go right every day for us to have this now ultra-safe transportation industry. You know, we have in this country, you know, 10,000 flights a day, you know, 10.2 million flights a year, and we operate them all safely. But it's hard. It's hard to have the diligence and the dedication to adhere to best practices on every minute of every hour of every day, every week, every month, every year for a decades-long aviation career. That's what's required. And any lapse could potentially be fatal, even though we have a lot of safety layers in there. If all the dominoes line up in the wrong way, we can have, on rare occasions, a catastrophic event. And it's important to know that given enough time, given enough flights, given enough flight hours, eventually whatever can happen will happen unless we work very hard to prevent every incident from turning into an accident.
And I know that is the goal. That is the goal. Can you talk a little bit more about Reagan National Airport? We've heard about the congested airspace, but also the runway and landing there at Reagan and on this particular runway. Can you give us some insight there? Yeah,
it's a legacy airport built, you know, a long time ago to different standards. Of course, it's been upgraded in certain ways, but it's landlocked, you know, with the river on one side and civilization on the other. There's not much room for expansion to make the runways longer or to have larger safety areas. And it's kind of a special airport that pilots need to have unique training on to fly in and out of if you're an airline pilot. It's considered a special airport that requires a bit more study to operate there safely because of the short runways, because of the proximity of other airports, and because of the traffic level. It's a high traffic, high density area, and lots of different kinds of traffic that's mixed together. In this case, helicopters, fixed wing aircraft. And anytime you have a mix, it makes things more complex.
We only have a few seconds left. Airline safety. I know that is paramount on your mind and the minds of many, and you can understand with all the near misses that we've been having, the apprehension of the public. How can you make them be rest assured about airline safety?
That the chances of any one of us being in an airline crash is infinitesimal. And that we have a lot of people who work very hard every day and are very dedicated to keep us safe. And we have thousands of people doing that every day. We just don't know who they all are. And
we appreciate what you have done. Ambassador Sullenberger, thank you so very much. Always appreciate your insight and perspective. It's very reassuring. You take care, sir.